you're straight.
Okay, let's keep things down. We're on the live now. And it's ICNF's live, so.
No, but they cut that. I'm saying the reason why you're straight is because we outsource the violence somewhere else. I don't want to play. That's why they push you down. They don't have it outside. They do it, and you can't know. They're gonna. That deal's gonna bring.
Okay.
The U.S. Why do you think they?
No more politics.
I'm not gonna lie. If they keep that. Yeah, we not talking about no lie.
You guys not get kidnapped from Jay.
Bro, if I try to kidnap you,
Leaving another level of politics.
Why are you on you like this today, bro?
You can't hear me? You should be able to hear me. I just muted myself and then unmuted myself.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, there you go. Tell everyone else. Brother, just tell the people. Oh, and I don't know, text AK or whatever. Tell him on the ICNF. Because he's at the gym and he said he wanted to watch it while he's at the gym. I don't know. Okay, so really quickly. Bismillah, alhamdulillah, salatu wassalamu ala rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa man wala, wa ba'd. We went through 7 virtues of Ibrahim. The first virtue of Ibrahim was that he was an ummah. The second virtue of Ibrahim is that the Prophet ﷺ called him the best of creation. The third virtue of Ibrahim is that there are 4 categories of goodness and he qualifies for 3 of them. Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala says, فَأُولَٰئِكَ الَّذِينَ أَنْعَمَ اللَّهُ عَلَيْهِمْ مِنَ النَّبِيِّينَ وَالصِّدِّيقِينَ وَالشُّهَدَاءِ وَالصَّالِحِينَ. Ibrahim is a Nabi, a Siddiq, and a Salih. The only one that he doesn't qualify for explicitly is being a Shaheed. We said that from the virtues of Ibrahim is that he's going to return to Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala with a perfect heart, and Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala said this explicitly in the Quran. Allah said, إِذْ جَاءَ رَبَّهُ بِقَلْبٍ سَلِيمٍ. From the virtues of Ibrahim is that he had hilm, which is forbearance, ta'weeh. He used to complain about his situation to Allah, which is actually a good thing. And inaba, he used to also turn back to Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala. We also mentioned the connection about them, but we're not gonna talk about the connection between those 3 again. But it's useful. We mentioned that he was Khalilullah, and we said really quickly about being a Khalil is that a human being cannot have more than 1 Khalil. It's not possible. According to the Arabs, the word Khalil is not a word that you can use on more than 1 person towards yourself. It's not possible. So if I have a Khalil, if Kareem is my Khalil, I'm not saying he is. I'm saying if he was, that means Muhammad can't be my Khalil. It's not possible. I'm just giving you an example. It means you can't be.
It just doesn't want to hurt your feelings.
If it's you?
Yeah.
If Hawaii is my Khalil, that means Muhammad can't be. But the point is, a human being can only have 1 Khalil, right? Great, no problem. But Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala can have more than 1 Khalil. That's what we said. We said khulla is the highest level of friendship to such an extent a person cannot have 2 of them. Their heart isn't big enough to have 2 of these. Whereas, so for example, if a man gets married and then he has a wife, mashallah, and you say, brother, mashallah, this is a good woman, take a second wife, right? And the man, his face changes and he's like, hasha lillah. There's one of 2 things. He's afraid of her or she's his khalila. Tamam? He can't have another. Mafhum? So this is what it means. This is what it means. When your connection with a person is so great, there can't be a second of that person, right? Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala can have multiple great connections like this. It's easy for Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala to have that. So Allah has how many Khalil that we know of explicitly? 2. Ibrahim and who? And Rasul alayhi salatu the Prophet said, Inna Allah attakhadhani khalilan kama attakhadha Ibrahim khalila. Allah has made me his Khalil the way he made Ibrahim his Khalil. Very good. And even the Prophet ﷺ actually explains to us that a human cannot have more than one Khalil. He said, لو كنت متخذا خليلا لاتخذت أبا بكر خليلا. If I was going to take a Khalil, I would have taken Abu Bakr as a Khalil. ولكن الله اتخذني خليلا. But Allah already made me as Khalil. So if Allah is my Khalil, how can Abu Bakr be my Khalil? Mafhum? So he can't have 2 Khalil, but Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala, he can have more than 1 Khalil. Very good.
Is there like a rank though? Like who comes first, Prophet Muhammad or Prophet Ibrahim?
Rasul Sallallahu is before Ibrahim, yes. Still. A lot of people say Ibrahim is Khalilullah, the Prophet is Habibullah. Say, brother, they're both Habibullah. They act like Habibullah is a rank above Khalilullah. It's not. Anyone can be Habibullah. Right? A random guy on the street can be Habibullah. I don't think people understand that. It's not a rank. Khalilullah is the highest rank a person can ever have. So I don't know why people are saying that. You're literally saying Ibrahim is so high and the Prophet is lower. Like, doesn't make any sense. Like, understand what it means. The Prophet himself never even really used the word Habib for himself. Mafhum? He used the word, Allah made me his what? His Khalil. Very good. And the last virtue we mentioned is that Allah completed his favor upon Ibrahim. What is the completion of Allah Ta'ala's favor upon Ibrahim? It is that Allah put so many prophets, so much iman in his children, in his progeny. Starting with, I won't say starting with, but because he is the second son, but Ishaq, from Ishaq to Yaqub to Yusuf, well, not to Yusuf, but Ishaq and Yaqub, from that lineage, starting with Yaqub, everyone born from Yaqub's lineage are Jews, right? The amount of prophets that came from that lineage is beyond, subhanAllah. Allah Ta'ala sent them so much prophets. Even Musa alayhi salam said this to his people. He said, وَإِذْ قَالَ مُوسَى لِقَوْمِهِ يَا قَوْمِ اذْكُرُوا نِعْمَةَ اللَّهِ عَلَيْكُمْ إِذْ جَعَلَ فِيكُمْ أَنْبِيَاءَ. You guys need to remember Allah's favor upon you when he made amongst you prophets. So no group of people had as much prophets as what? Banu Israel. And all of them are from the lineage of who? Ibrahim, right? Then of course we have Ismail, who's a prophet, and then from his lineage comes the best of mankind, which is Rasul alayhi afdalu salatu wa taslim. And then Ibrahim gets the name Abul Anbiya, the father of what? The father of the prophets. Very good. Very good, very good, very good. So this is the way Allah completed his favor upon Ibrahim. And we mentioned all of these. We actually talked about, when I went through these virtues, it was like an hour where I was talking about only 4 of them. And then and then 30 minutes, less than 30 minutes, it was 20 minutes, I believe, to talk about the last 3. So we spent some time on them. I went on a couple of tangents that we benefited from, went into the story of Sulaiman a little, the story of Musa again a little, because how can you avoid Musa alayhi salam? One thing I'll mention quickly about him being an ummah, it means one of 3 things, or all 3. It means that 3 nations came from him. We know what those 3 nations are, the Jews, the Christians, and the Muslims. It means that he did the work of a nation by himself, meaning he used to do da'wah the way the entire ummah will do da'wah. His da'wah was equal to the da'wah of an ummah. Or it means he was a lone monotheist amongst the masses of polytheists, meaning he was the jama'ah. Ibn Mas'ud radiallahu anhu said, if a person is upon the truth, then he is the jama'ah, even if he's only one person and the entire world is against him. He's still the jama'ah. He's the group. He's the ummah, basically. Jameel, very good. Okay, the second thing we have to deal with is the birthplace of Ibrahim, salawatullahi wa salamuhu alayhi. And his parentage, who's his parents, and the context of his environment in early childhood, and when did he become a prophet. Ibrahim was born in Iraq. Modern day Iraq, what Iraq is called now, this is where Ibrahim ﷺ came from. Where? Babylon. Ibrahim was born in what? He was born in Babylon. They call it the mother of civilization, yeah? That's what they call Babylon. It's the mother of civilization. No, they said Egypt is Dunya. It's the mother of the world. And the only people who say that are the Egyptians.
The guy behind the counter in the coffee shop says that. That's how Egyptians said it.
And then it stuck, right? It stuck, right? That Egypt is Dunya. I remember we went into a barber shop, and the Egyptian brother, he asked us, he's like, mashallah, where are you guys from and so-and-so? And I was like, Aslam in Senegal. He was like, Senegal. I was like, yeah. He was like, Sadio Mane. And I was like, yeah, him. Also, I'm a person and I have my own individual. But anyway, he said to me, he was like, Ahsan nas, Ahsan nas. So I was like, oh, Jazakallah khair, Jazakallah khair. I felt like the best person in the world. I was like, wow, Ahsan, like my people are the best of people. Thank you. And he was like, yeah, Ahsan nas, you guys are the best people. Wallahi, another brother came in. He's like, Min ayn? The guy said, I'm in Maghrib. He's like, Min Maghrib. He's like, yeah, I'm in Maghrib. He's like, Ahsan nas. I went to him. I said, how is he Ahsan nas? He said, no, we just say this to everyone. I said, I get it, but like I felt good. Now I don't feel too good no more. I don't feel special anymore. But subhanallah, yeah. But yes, from Iraq, from Babylon. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Subhanallah, actually the ulama, not the ulama, the companions. I remember saying this in my class one time while we were speaking about some of the rulings, regulations, and we were Islamic studies. I forgot what we were talking about, and I just mentioned in passing. I said the companions, some of them used to say that all the fitna came from Iraq. So they said Ibn Umar used to say this. Ibn Umar, he was like, because every day somebody would come to him and said, Ibn Umar, these guys are saying that the qadar is not real. And he's like, bro, where are they from? He's like, they're from Iraq. Ibn Umar, oh my God. Right? So Ibn Umar, at some point, he just said, he's like, all the fitness from Iraq. That's what he said. And that caught on. But subhanallah, no matter what, it was from this place that produced who? Ibrahim salawatullahi wasalam alayhi. It was from this place that Ibrahim, the second best creation of Allah tabarak wa ta'ala, came from. Jameel. So, okay, if we understand where he's from, and Iraq at this time was ruled by a king. This is important for everyone to know. Iraq right now is ruled by a what? A king. Who is Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam's parents? His mother, we're not going to talk about her because we don't know anything about her. His father is Azar. Allah tabarak wa ta'ala says in the Quran, وَإِذْ قَالَ إِبْرَاهِيمُ لِأَبِيهِ what? Azara. When Ibrahim said to his father, Azar. So Allah said that the father of Ibrahim is who? Azar. But the historical lineage of Ibrahim does not say his father is Azar. The father of Ibrahim, according to the history of the Arabs and the history of the Jews. See, the Arabs, they track their lineage to Ismail, right? And then they go up to Ibrahim, right? And they keep going. How do the Arabs track who the father of Ibrahim is? And how do the Jews track through Ishaq, all getting to Ibrahim? Who is the father? Both of them agree that the name of the father of Ibrahim is Tarikh or Tarikh. Tamam? The Arabs, obviously, they say Tarikh with Ha, and the Jews say Tarikh with Kha. Because when you use Ha, every time they hear Ha, they use Kh. They put there, as I'm sure, because of the language difference. Anyway, al-muhim. The point is, how come the name of Ibrahim a.s. father is not what was recorded in the Quran? Did the Quran get it wrong? Or did both of these lineages get it wrong? The ulama, they bring them together. There are two main opinions. One opinion is Allah, when he says li abihi, to his father Azara, Allah does not mean his biological father. That's one of the opinions of the ulama. They say Azar is not the biological father of who? Ibrahim. What carried them to that is the fact that both lineages do not mention Azar. They mention a different person. Both lineages. So they said, no, Obviously some of those ulama, what carried them to it is they have this desire inside of them to not have the parents of a prophet be a bad person. I don't know why, but it is possible for anyone to be bad. It's possible for anybody to be good. Doesn't matter if you're related to a prophet or not related to a prophet. However, that's one opinion. Azar is not the biological father of Ibrahim, but rather the biological father of Ibrahim, Tariq, he died. He did what? He died. And then Ibrahim's uncle raised him. His uncle is who? Azar. And Azar raised Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam from childhood, so he was considered like his father. And then they say, what is our proof that it is possible for a person, for an uncle, for a paternal uncle to be called the father of a child? Like, this is my paternal uncle, he's my uncle, my dad's brother. Is it permissible in the Arabic language to call him Abi? What's the proof? They said the proof is in the Quran itself. Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala said, it's in Surah Baqarah, the proof. أم كنتم شهداء إذ حضر يعقوب الموت إذ قال لبنيه ما تعبدون من بعدي قالوا نعبد إلهك. They say, we're going to worship your God. وإله what? آبائك, your father. And then what do they say? وإله آبائك إبراهيم ووات إسماعيل ووات إسحاق. Ismail is what to the sons of Yaqub? He's a granduncle, yeah? And Ishaq is their father, right? But what do they call Ismail? Our father. Even though he's their what? He's the brother of their grandfather. So he's their granduncle. So they said it's permissible in the Arabic language to say Abi to who? Your paternal uncle, not your maternal uncle. If he's related to your mother, you don't call that guy Abi. He's Khal, he's my uncle. But your father's brother, you call him what? Likewise, your mother's sister, yajuzu laka, and you say ummi. It's no problem. This is good. And there's a proof in the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ. The Prophet ﷺ said the maternal aunt is like your mother. He says your maternal aunt, meaning your mother's sister, is like your mother, and your paternal uncle is like your father. That's why when a woman, her father passes away, who takes over her who becomes her wali? It's her grandfather. But if her grandfather's not father, there's no one. Let's assume her grandfather's already dead. Her father just died. Who takes over? Her uncle, right? But which uncle? Paternal or maternal? Paternal. If she has brothers, one from the mother, one from the father, who takes over? Who's her wali? Her paternal brother. The brother from her father, not the brother from her who? Mafhum? So this is why they kind of take the role of the father. So the people related to, the men related to your father kind of take over his role when he's not present or he's unable to do so. And the people related to your mother, the women related to your mother, take over her role when she's not present or not able to do whatever. And this is ma'loom in Islam and even in culture, generally speaking. It's well known.
They have to be biologically related? Like they can't be like a lifelong friend of like your father or anything? That has to be biologically related to?
For what? To be a wali?
To be called, no, for him to also be called a father. Because I know even like if you adopt a kid, it's haram to call him your son, right? Isn't that true?
It's haram to give him your name.
And to call him and to claim that you're his father or something.
To claim you're his biological father. Give him your name. He can call you Abi, you can call him Yabni. It's no problem. You choose. But you can't give him your name. When somebody asks, what's your name? He's going to say, I'm so-and-so, Ibn so-and-so. And you're not that guy. There's another guy. I said, but you call him Abi. And it's like, yeah, he raised me. That's like, he's my Abi, but he's not my Ibn Abi. He's not. They can't take your name. That's all. Otherwise, all of these uncles are doing haram when they ask people, Yabni, come here.
Oh, really?
He said, Last ibnak, I'm not your son. It's okay. They mean, the son of my brother. That's what they mean. Tamam? But it'd be weird if you start going to uncles saying Abi, very strange. That's why we, in the Arab countries, they call a random older person or a close friend older person Am. They never call him Khal, do they? They call him what? Am. Why do they call him Am? Because they're all men. They relate those men, those strange men, to their father. They don't relate those strange men to their mother. There's a reason for it. And this is
there like Aib in it?
it's no Aib. It's culture, you know. Yeah, but it would be weird if you just start going around and say Khal. The asl is the asl is the masculine usually, unless of course you're dealing with a woman. And then obviously when they see an auntie, they call her amma or they call her khalti. They call her what? Relating her to what? Their mother and not to their father. You notice that?
Yeah, that's lore.
He said that's lore. You said that's lore.
Yeah, that's lore. I actually had no clue. That's why it was lore.
What's lore?
It's lore. Like I had no
I
idea
mean-
that's
I
why
mean-
it's called that. That's crazy.
Gears start clicking in my head,
MashaAllah. Okay. So that's the first opinion on the father of Ibrahim. The second opinion is like, no. When Allah says that this is his father, Allah means it face value. Allah means it what? Face value. This is indeed his father. So how do they bring the two opinions together? They say that Azar was a nickname that Tariq was more known by. Or Tariq was a nickname that he was more known by. One of them he was known by, whereas the other one was his birth name. And Allah Ta'ala picked whichever one that he wanted for whatever reason that he did. And Allah Ta'ala called him Azar. Allah called him Azar. Very good.
Could it just be that their history is wrong?
It could be, but the Arabs were very serious about lineage. So it's not too easy for them to come and say, yeah, we're just wrong. We just got the lineage wrong. Like, oops, we just missed a dad. They don't, like, you can't tell them that. You're not gonna have, they're gonna hurt you. Back then, I don't. Yeah.
So the strongest opinion is that was just, like, I guess, his caretaker. When Allah refers to him as.
No, it's his father.
Oh, so that means the history was wrong.
No. So what the ulama said, they didn't say the history is wrong. They said both of these are the names of the same individual.
Oh, these are two names for the same people.
For the same individual.
Oh, okay.
One's his birth name, and the other one he was known by amongst the people.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the strongest opinion.
Is it like Dhul-Qarnayn, his real name is not actually Dhul-Qarnayn?
Well, definitely his real name is probably not Dhul-Qarnayn, which means the one with the two horns.
Yeah.
Like they'll only call him that because that's how he looked, that's how he dressed.
So it's kind of similar.
Mm-hmm. Very similar, yeah. Very good.
Does the name like translate to a certain meaning?
Azar?
Yeah.
I don't know. Rice? I don't know. Maybe it does. Maybe I'll look into it, inshallah. Okay, so did Ibrahim have brothers? Did he have sisters? Ibrahim had two brothers. One, his name was Nahur, and the other one, his name was Haran. Nahur and who? Haran. Very good. So it's three of them. Ibrahim is the middle sibling. Ibrahim's neither the youngest nor the oldest. It seems that Nahur was the eldest. Okay. It seems that Nahur was the eldest. And Nahur had a son. The eldest brother of Ibrahim had a what? A son. Who's the son?
Hold on, I'm sorry. Luke.
Lut alayhi salatu wasalam is the son of what? Ibn Nahur. Lut ibn Nahur. So Lut came from Nahur. And then what happened? Nahur died. This eldest brother died early. He died early. Very good. But Lut was born, and Lut was obviously a part of the family. He was being raised and taken care of.
So Lut was raised by Ibrahim.
Necessarily. Not necessarily. We don't know how close Lut and Ibrahim alayhi salam were in terms of age, and we don't know who else was there to take care of him.
Oh, so okay.
So Allah knows best.
Oh, okay.
It could have been Ibrahim. Could have
You don't
been.
know that for sure.
But I don't know that for sure.
Oh, okay.
But did he play a role in raising Lut? Of course. That's why Lut followed him. That's why Lut did what? He followed Ibrahim alayhi salam later on in Ibrahim alayhi salam's story. Okay, very good. The ulama also say that these three sons may not have had the same mother. They may have had the same mother. Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala knows. Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala knows best. What kind of environment Ibrahim was born in? Ibrahim was born in an environment worse than the prophets. Prophet was born in an environment of shirk and kufr. But Ibrahim was born in an environment of shirk and kufr, except that there was not even a beacon of light there. The Prophet, there were some people, few people, even maybe one or two, who did what? They worshipped Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala alone. I believe one of them, his name was Zayd bin Amr. This was before the time of the Prophet. He worshipped Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala alone. He used to do circumambulation around the Kaaba, and he used to say, I'm the only one of you guys who is upon the religion of my father, Ibrahim. He never worshipped anyone else besides Allah. Another person was Waraq ibn Nawfal, the cousin of the wife of the Prophet Khadija. Her cousin, Waraqa, worshipped Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala alone, even though he was in Mecca. Right? So there were people who worshipped Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala alone. It's not like guidance was completely gone, but it is almost not there. Ibrahim, there's nobody. Ibrahim, there's what? Like he's in the darkest time, darkest age ever.
I have a question. You said during the time of the Prophet there were some people who worshipped Allah. How would they know what to do in order to, because they didn't know to pray 5 times at that point, that they didn't have a prophet.
Neither did the Prophet. The Prophet did not pray 5 times a day when the Wahy first came to him.
How they know what to do?
They just did whatever, but they worshipped only Allah. That's the point. The point is they never associated partners with them. Not that they know what they are doing, but that they didn't associate partners with them. They, in their mind, they were like, there's only one God.
So
Right?
they're the only people that follow their fitra, basically. They just believe it.
There you go. Exactly that. Right? So even to show how dark the time of Ibrahim a.s. was, there's a hadith of the Prophet ﷺ where the Prophet ﷺ speaks to us about an incident. We'll discuss this incident of Ibrahim and his wife, his first wife, Sarah. Ibrahim and Sarah, they were traveling together, and they were before a king. They were before a king. Ibrahim a.s. told his wife, he said, listen to me. When you go in there, do not tell that man that I'm your husband. He's going to kill me. If you tell him I'm your husband, he's going to slaughter me because he's going to see me as, clearly we know why we're here. We know why he wants you. But if you tell him that I'm your husband, he's just going to kill me. But if you say I'm your brother, he's going to be like, oh, okay, well, you're not a problem for me because, you're her brother. I don't care. He's going to let you leave me alone, and I kind of don't want to die. So he said, they called me in. They asked me who this woman is to me. I told them you're my sister. He says, فَلَا تُكَذِّبُونِي فَلَا تُكَذِّبِينِي. He said, don't go in there and prove me a liar. And she was like, okay. So she went in and they said, who's that man to you? And she was like, my brother. He said, oh, okay, that's what he said. Anyway, when Ibrahim a.s. and his wife were in this particular situation, the Prophet ﷺ mentions in this story, in this hadith, that one of the things that Ibrahim said to his wife is, there's nobody else on the earth who believes in Allah except me and you. That's what he told his wife.
During that time?
Now we know Lut is the exception because Allah already says it. فَآمَنَ بِهِ لُوط. Lut believed in him. So this means that Ibrahim a.s. is saying, the whole place is dark. You have to understand Ibrahim's time is even worse than the Prophet ﷺ. Because the Prophet ﷺ, maybe you find one person in his society who's doing the right thing. If the Prophet leaves his society, if he leaves Mecca and he travels, there's a lot of people upon guidance. Salman, how did Salman find guidance? Salman was guided before he met the Prophet ﷺ, yes or no? Salman been traveling all over the place. He met Christian priest. He stayed with them, he served them, and they taught him Tawheed. Tawheed. They didn't teach him the Trinity, they taught him Tawheed. They finally sent him to Medina. Of course, he tried to go to Medina, he hitched a ride with some people, they enslaved him and sold him, right? So, yeah, those guys, that's crazy. But Salman found guidance. He was looking for it and he found it. So guidance existed outside of the society of the Prophet ﷺ. Ibrahim was a nomad, as we will find out. He traveled outside of his lands and it's even more dark. Nobody believes in Allah. Tamam? So this is the kind of society Ibrahim ﷺ was born into. Now let's describe idols, inshallah, and we'll kind of end there a little, because that's all. We just want to give some context, inshallah. Idols were the culture and the religion and the way of life of people at that time. Every people or tribe or nation would be known by the god or gods they devoted themselves to. When a group of people met another group of people, one of the first things they want to know about that group of people is, who's your god? Who do you worship? This used to be the case even in the time of Banu Israel. In the time of Ibrahim, it was a big deal. In the time of Banu Israel, it was still a big deal. So one of the things is Banu Israel as a tribe used to brag about all the time is our God. He did this, he did that. And people used to be afraid of Banu Israel. When they got to their high level, when they became a high level tribe, a high level group of people, one of the things they used to brag about was they used to brag about Allah. Why? Because remember how the Prophet ﷺ said, every prophet that came, Allah Ta'ala sent him with a miracle that the people of his time would believe in. Yes or no? So the people of that time, they believe whoever got victory, then his God is real. So Allah used to give victory to Banu Israel. Every time Banu Israel is they're fighting people, they're winning every time. And people are like, who these brothers? You know, they're just a tribe. Like, they're not even that many people, and they're always winning. And that's why when they fought Jalut and they beat Jalut, okay? Anybody watch the animation, David? No, what's wrong? Why you don't like Jewish prophets? The animation is called David. He Of course, it's new.
Oh.
He
Is it like anime?
No, it's like
Animation like.
Is it an anime?
it's 3D. It's 3D animation. It's like Disney and that. Like, it's not from Disney, but it's like Disney.
See, it's like a little move, yeah?
Yeah, like yeah.
Yeah, that's what they're trying to say.
Kind of like a Naruto kind of thing.
No, not Naruto.
No, he said animation. You don't mean animation. Like AI animation, you know what I'm saying? No.
3D animation,
Where's that?
like Frozen.
Let it go.
I know some of you brothers watch Frozen.
Bro, all of them watch Frozen.
I know you brothers watch Frozen. Bro.
I bet he loves that Frozen.
You never let it go? I watched it with my little sister.
No, don't say that. Okay.
You watch Frozen? You was in your bedroom watching it on your own.
It was in the Let It Go. I told you guys what was it, y'all.
She watched it with you guys.
I watched it with my sister, bro.
Your sister watched it.
It was like an hour in the movie. He's like,
Not one amongst you except you were watching Frozen, and that person's sister came and said, "Oh, what are you watching?" Oh, Frozen. Okay, I'll watch it with you.
Nah, I ain't.
Olaf is getting weird, though.
Yeah, it is a new movie. Yeah.
That's a very good. But Olaf started acting a little weird for me.
Olaf.
Yo, how you know details?
Oh, you paying attention?
Hey, nobody paid attention to that thing.
Hey, bro, talks go on.
What that supposed to be? Hey, hold up. That's supposed to be like.
Yo, what's going on, man?
Anybody heard about Crane Brain?
Hey.
Oh, I was like, yo. But so in that animation, that's, you know, apparently Goliath came out to David and said to him, I'm gonna do kada, I'm gonna do kada. And David said, bro, well, I'm about to cook you because like it's not me you're fighting against. You're fighting against, the God who destroyed such and such and the God who beat such and such. And, that was the bragging of that time. So anyway, everyone would always be known by their what? By their God. Who do you worship and what did he do for you? Because if he's not doing nothing for you, you got to switch your service. Yeah, you got to go to Verizon. Yeah. So this is how they would come to know. This is how people would be at that time. This is how they would test what God is real. Like you don't know. Like you come to this guy and say, "Is your God real?" And he's like, "Yeah, totally, 100%." But just take a look at him. He's like, "But he looks like the other gods too. Like how would I know?" And he's like, "Well, we won our last few raids." I was like, "Oh." And the other guy, "That's what you guys do. You raid. Like we won the last few wars." And they're like, "Oh, who's your God?" So this is how they came to know who's the real God, who's not the real God. If you're making dua and it's working out, very good. Anybody read Beowulf, I think? Is it called Beowulf? Beowulf? For your literature in English.
Oh, yeah.
Bro, I know you guys don't be reading. Bro, you guys just put it through chat.
Yeah, I remember.
Bro, you did not read it, man. I know you did not read it.
Oh, I've heard of it. Yeah, I know exactly what it is.
I believe one of
So when you say you accepted from him, when I said,
Ooh,
No,
yeah, he looks like
I
a reader.
recognize the name, yes.
Nah, you're not wearing
I
glasses.
don't
That
cap.
means he's not a reader.
There's no cap over here.
but you just capped like the whole time you was talking earlier.
You can tell the people who read and the people who don't read it.
You called you uneducated.
That's why I don't have glasses.
He called you a caveman.
But I believe it was in that story where there's some weird stuff that happened in that story. But I believe it was in that story where was it the Vikings who were fighting Christians or something like that. I don't know. And they were like, "Sir," they was in the middle of the war, and one of the guys came to the general. He's like, "Sir, these guys, I think they worship some god named Jesus or something." And he was like, yeah. And he's like, "Yeah, it's not looking good for us right now." And then he was like, "What can we do? Do this, do that." And he was giving orders and stuff. He's like, "Sir, what do you think? Should we call on their god?" And he's like, "No." And like he was considering it. He was like, "Yeah, let's call on Jesus. Maybe he's gonna help us." Like Thor is not doing too much right now. But that was basically how the time used to work. It's like if you guys are winning, your God's probably real, right? And the Christians even absorbed that, by the way. The Christians absorbed that, and they used to say that amongst each other in the Crusades. Like if they ever got a win against a group of people, or they got a win against the Muslims, they'd be like, that's why. And or the fact that the Khilafah, it expanded, right? And we didn't really breach Europe. I mean, we got into Europe. I mean, we got all of Spain for like hundreds of years, but we didn't really get in. Like we got to get the Brits. We didn't get them because the sea is always protecting them. Trust me, it's the only reason those guys have ever succeeded at anything. Is because of where they are. If they were anywhere else, they'd have been cooked long time ago. But anyway. One of the things they say, even now, they brag about, they said, "How come you guys spread everywhere, but you couldn't come to Europe? We started the Crusades and we pushed you guys back." I said, "Brother, Allah just didn't want to guide you. It's just not great people. You bad people. Allah just didn't want to guide what you're talking about. Everyone else received guidance, right? That's your problem." But also the real reason is because by the time we turned our attention to the Europeans and started talking to them and connecting with them and meeting them in a variety of ways, including on the battlefield, at that point we were, husks of our former selves. Like we were not the same. We were barely doing the right things. Some people were drinking khamr. Some of the warriors, they were drinking khamr. I was like, "Come on, how are you gonna get victory? You're drinking alcohol? Come on. What's wrong with you? That's crazy." There was a time we used to use that against the people. Right, we used to wait to their holiday or whatever, let them get nice and drunk, and then the next day we take care of them, take care of business. But now the Muslims are just like, "Oh, if you take a little and it doesn't make you too drunk, inshallah."
I heard some crazy fatwas about.
Because like you pain and stuff.
No, actually, I felt like
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If you have pain.
But anyway, the Prophet ﷺ, by the time the Prophet ﷺ came, the culture was changing, and now it became about who can prove themselves. And so the Prophet said, even though there was definitely military clashes between the Muslims and other groups of people, it wasn't the primary way people were proving their gods anymore. And we weren't using that. We definitely didn't care about using that to prove our God, so to speak. I mean, we know that Allah Ta'ala was with us. And we know that he was with us if we're doing the right things and stuff. But we didn't use our victory to say that our God is real and our losses to say that he's not. We never believed that. He's real regardless. However, things kind of changed, and it was more about intellectual. Can I convince you that this is the truth through evidences and proofs? Tamam? Okay, very good. So we know what's going on in the time of Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam. Power, victory, phenomenal feats were the markers of success, and it would be attributed to a people's God. If a people were successful, it would be attributed to God, to their God, and that God would gain worshipers. So if I'm really cool and I start worshiping a God, that God would get worshipers because I'm really cool, right? And people want to be cool like me, so they worship the God that I'm worshiping because their assumption is I'm cool because my God made me cool. So, yeah. It literally is, yeah. So, and that God would gain worshipers just by stories of the peoples or tribes that worshipped it. This would in turn benefit the people. So the more people that choose to worship our God, they would join us. We would get stronger. We'd have more feats, right? So it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. It's proving itself. It's like circular. Like I'm cool, a few good things happen, and then people joined me because they think my God gave it to me. But because they joined me, I have more power. Now we do more cool things, and more people join us.
That's the method.
Yeah, and so everyone was stealing each other's followers in such ways. It was not that, simple, but kind of like that.
You just read something crazy in the comments.
Yeah, sometimes Christians are joining us.
Bro.
Yeah.
I think only remember their religion when they see Muslims practicing it. That's facts. Tell them I said that.
They can probably hear you,
I
but
think that's the only person.
yeah, we're not really interested in talking about who saved who and what
What they said, they yapping in that thing?
They said Yahshua saved me through Mary.
Man,
It's a shirt.
okay. Keep your comment, yo, so.
If whatever you were going through at the time, if you prayed to anybody else, the same thing would have happened, and you would have thought that other person saved you as well. Doesn't make sense. Anyway, that's what happened to people. Something really cool happens to them. They happen to be doing shirk, and then they assume that false god. There was another man. I promise you, I can find a story of a guy who's worshiping a fat man at the right time, and then he thinks the fat man is worthy of worship. Okay, it's like, is that your proof? And that's why I'm saying Muslims, we didn't do that. We didn't, win or have a great success and say, see, this proves our God is real. It wasn't like that. It was like, I can prove to you that we're right. In any circumstance, if back in the time, if it was militarily, if it was just sitting down and having a conversation, it doesn't matter. Either I'm going to prove it to you regardless, because it's the truth, regardless of what happens here on earth. Tamam. So we're like the palm tree. We don't just, those guys are winning, let me just go here, like everyone else is doing. Whoever wins, we just go and we be like them and we act like them. But the Muslims, even though we're struggling with that as well, we are acting like the people who have the power right now, even though they're wrong in the way that they act, and we are acting like them sometimes. But for the most part, Muslims seem to be the people who keep their morals, and that's good. We are like the palm tree. When the wind comes, all the other trees are swaying, but the palm tree, just its leaves move. It remains erect for the most part. Anyway, this would in turn benefit the people, growing their alliances and profits. Like they would make money off of it. And is this not what was occurring in the time of the Prophet ﷺ? The Quraysh, what happened? When did the Quraysh, their power blew up? When? After Abraham. Abraham tried to destroy the Kaaba. What happened? Allah destroyed him, and then what happened? The Arabs were like, oh my God, Quraysh is... And then from then on, everyone thought Quraysh was the greatest tribe in the world, and people used to come and to the Kaaba and circumambulate, and they used to view the Quraysh as the great. Why? Because of this thing that happened, right? Which was all the plan of Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala. Yeah, no, we don't like blood, yeah.
So what do you say?
I just thought of something crazy.
Yeah, you respond to him. Are you the number one fan? Yeah. Before Jesus died on the cross, before his blood was spilt, was it who was going to heaven at that time? And if they were, that shows that God could have done it without spilling blood. If he can do it without spilling blood, why do you choose to spill blood? Does that make sense? Doesn't make sense, does it? Doesn't. Yeah, go think about that.
Wait, are you live on Facebook or Instagram?
YouTube.
No. No way. YouTube live is
Most of us cooking him, it's okay.
stuff up. Let's get back on track. Don't be security, man.
He said,
So they were all drowning in sin. Ibrahim received guidance and direction at a very early time in his life. Yes, as a child. Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala says in the Quran, وَلَقَدْ آتَيْنَا إِبْرَاهِيمَ رُشْدَهُ مِنْ قَبْلِ وَكُنَّا بِهِ عَالِمِينَ. We gave Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam his guidance from before, meaning from a young age. And we were knowledgeable of him. We were paying attention to him. Very good. So Ibrahim never made shirk. Keep that in mind. Ibrahim what? Never associated partners with Allah in his life ever. We know that in Surah Al-An'am, Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala says, وَإِذْ قَالَ إِبْرَاهِيمُ لِأَبِيهِ آزَرَ أَتَتَّخِذُ أَصْنَامًا آلِهَةً إِنِّي أَرَاكَ وَقَوْمَكَ فِي ضَلَالٍ مُبِينٍ وَكَذَلِكَ نُرِي إِبْرَاهِيمَ مَلَكُوتَ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ وَلِيَكُونَ مِنَ الْمُوقِنِينَ. فلما جن عليه الليل رأى كوكبا. When Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam, the night came, رأى كوكبا, he saw the stars. قال هذا ربي, he said, this is my Lord. فلما أفلا, once the stars set, meaning once the daytime came, قال لا أحب الآفلين, he said, I don't like those things that set.
What was just an example that you used?
So some people were saying, oh, Ibrahim was trying to figure out who Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala was, and he thought the stars were God at the time, and then when the stars set, he realized they weren't God. Brother, so Ibrahim never seen the stars ever in his life before. It's the first time he found out the stars set. فَلَمَّا رَأَى الْقَمَرَ بَازِغًا قَالَ هَذَا رَبِّي. Once he saw the moon, he said, this is my Lord. فَلَمَّا أَفَلَ قَالَ لَئِن لَمْ يَهْدِنِي رَبِّي لَأَكُونَنَّ مِنَ الْقَوْمِ الضَّالِينَ. If my Lord doesn't guide me, I'll become misguided. So you're saying this is the first time he saw the moon? فَلَمَّا رَأَى الشَّمْسَ بَازِغَةً. When he saw the sun come out. Wait, the whole other days he saw the sun the last 3 times. Yes or no? When the night first came, he saw the stars. When the stars left, that's because the day came back out, right? And so he saw the sun, right? But he ignored the sun. Then he went to the moon, right? Then after the moon left, because of the nighttime went, he saw the sun a 3rd time, right? Or the 2nd time. Only then did he talk about the sun. So did he not see the sun the first time? So people sometimes they don't think, and they say, oh, even he made shirk, but then he found his way. No, he did not. He did not make shirk. This was an example to his people. Even at that young age, he was giving them examples, saying, look at that, that's my Lord. Oh, no, it can't be because of this. Oh, look at that, that's my Lord. Oh, it can't be because of this. And then they, instead of understanding, they were like, this kid's crazy. And they left. So Ibrahim said, I need to talk to you guys in a louder language. I need to speak louder. So what did he do? He started breaking their idols. Tamam? That was the next step he went to.
So I have a question. Was that one of the idols that they worship around that time?
This Baal thing that the
goat with the horn.
In the time of Ibrahim, لا أدري. We'll find out, perhaps, but this may have been what they intended by the calf. In the time of Musa alayhi salatu wasalam, when they worshipped the calf, and now all of a sudden we have this Baal, whatever. Wallahu a'lam. Everyone, they're always doing shirk and weird stuff like that. I don't know what's with them and cows. They really like cows,
I
Apparently
you
we're
too,
in a
Shay. They good, Shay.
simulation.
They good. I like them.
Apparently we're in a simulation.
Yeah, some people like cows in one way, weird way, and other people like cows in this way, and we just, mashallah, it's good beef. Bismillah. Like can you imagine being somebody whose God is eaten by another group of people? Like that's tough, isn't it? Can you imagine being a country and you're exporting your God for beef? Does that make sense? It's like, come on, guys. So when people say to me, they're the great world religions, and I'm like, which ones? They're like, Islam. No, they start with Christianity. They say Christianity, Judaism, Islam. Islam comes after Judaism, even though we're way more than them. But okay, Islam, Hinduism. Did you say Hinduism just now? Akhi, they're exporting their gods around the world to be eaten. What are you saying, Akhi? You can't. Come on. I don't mean to like, I mean, obviously I'm trying to poke fun, but I'm just also trying to make sense. Like, come on.
If you divide it by sect, Islam or Sunni Islam is larger than Christianity by a lot. Because of Catholic, yeah, yes they are. There's more Sunnis than there are Catholics.
Oh, Catholics. Okay, sure, fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they all disagree with each other on certain things.
Oh, they disagree like crazy, but so do we. I mean,
Did civilizations like way back then struggle with shirk a lot more than you feel like civilization now, or do you feel like it gets worse over time?
I don't think it gets worse. I think it stays just about the same.
It's like repetitive.
New gods, but same game.
I mean, now I don't know.
I mean, there. In my opinion, there are more false gods now than they have ever been. Because now,
What?
100
Like a statue for every.
except now, so there used to be a lot of statues for different gods, right? But there would be massive groups of people that worship that specific god, right? Today, everyone's worshiping themselves. The amount of gods tripled. So everyone has their own personal god. And so, who's your god? Me. I wake up, I decide what I do, when I do, why I do, where I do, what I do, everything. If I think it's right, it's okay. If I want to do it, it's good, right? When we say no, Allah said you can't do it. No, they say my body, my choice. Allah Ta'ala said, what do you mean? I created you, my choice,
So they're designed.
right? Ala lahul khalqu wal amr. Did He not create? So therefore, does He not get to decide what happens? The rules and regulations? Like, come on, like that's like me going to Apple and saying, hey, look, I know you designed the iPhone, but let me tell people how to use it. No, who is you? They're going to say, leave, bro. Now, us human beings, did you design yourself? No, you didn't. So how are you going to decide how it works and what to do and what not to do? That's not how it works. You need Allah Ta'ala to decide about what He Himself created, Ta'ala. But the amount of gods that exist now, because of this, is way more. Way, 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 way more. Allah Ta'ala says in the Quran, أَفَرَأَيْتَ مَنْ اتَّخَذَ إِلَهَهُ هَوَاهُ. Don't you see the person who takes his desires as his God? أَفَأَنْتَ تَكُونُ عَلَيْهِ وَكِيلًا. Can you possibly, can you be responsible for him? You can't be responsible for somebody whose desires is their God. I can't be responsible because you're going to do crazy things. You're going to do wild things. So finishing up, Ibrahim received his rushd when he was young. The question is his rushd nubuwah? وَلَقَدْ آتَيْنَا إِبْرَاهِيمَ رُشْدَهُ. We gave Ibrahim his guidance min qablu when he was young. Does that mean his nubuwah? We made him a prophet when he was young? Or does that mean we guided him and we made sure his fitrah was not messed up by the people he was living amongst? Which one does it mean? Allah knows best. It seemed that Ibrahim a.s. prophethood was very early. It seems his prophethood was what? Very early. But Allah Ta'ala knows best. However, we do know he never made shirk ever. This is also the case for every other prophet as well. So it's not something particularly special. No prophet ever made shirk, even before their prophethood. But some of them, the fact that they never made shirk was more spectacular than others. For example, Musa was born in a society full of shirk, of course. But his mother and his father were muwahideen. They worshipped Allah alone. So he never did shirk because his parents they taught him the right thing. But Ibrahim, his parents, did they teach him the right thing? No. So him not doing shirk is more spectacular. Very good. And I believe, inshallah, we'll stop here and then we'll finally go into some of the discussions understanding what the idols were doing and so on and so forth, and what Ibrahim had to say about them, and some of the discussions with his people, bi'ithnillahi al-kareem, afterwards. And obviously, I will need my mushaf for that, because the way Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala words things and how He does things and so on and so forth, we're going to take a lot of benefit out of that, inshallah. And hopefully, I'm going to bring interesting things to you guys' minds, such that you'll have a lot of questions to ask. And we'll spend a lot of time on those questions as well, inshallah. Wa akhiru da'wana alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Brother, Jesus did not die for anyone. Stop. He did not die for anyone.
You just tell them we're not interested in this people. Seriously. Also tell them.
So there's two pieces of.
Look. Dude,
I go out. I'm not
Some
finished.
things are so stupid. The whole begotten son thing is so dumb. Why on earth? Like when you just think about it, like in the most simple, why on earth would God need a son? For what? It's so like, what is it?
It's so.
He is the bridge to the Father. Then how did the people get to the Father before him?
You know what's crazy?
Are you saying nobody ever worshiped? How did Abraham get to the Father before Jesus died? And before Jesus came?
You know, it's very possible that, what's it called?
What about Moses? Was he misguided? He didn't know what he was
I
doing?
don't know if this is true, but.
How did he get to the Father? Did he not? Was he not a prophet? Was he not guided?
He's doing dawah and no one cares about it. Like, he's leave, bro.
He's dodging my question.
No one's gonna.
He said the price of all.
hop off, bro. The chat, bro.
He said the price of all sin is death. So I keep asking him, if someone steals a Twix from a corner store, should they be put to death? And he never answered. He's still dodging my question.
Yeah, that's a good question. Everyone,
Is he alive? Is he
If
alive?
someone steals
Are
a
you
Twix
still alive?
from a corner store,
If somebody steals a Twix from a corner store, should they be killed?
should they be killed?
Because, you know what I'm saying?
He can hear it.
I feel like
yeah.
But he's like dodging the question.
No, he's not gonna answer.
He won't answer because
I've
he's
been
not
asking
like
him 10
that.
times. He hasn't answered this shit.
yeah, like it's just like outside.
Is he typing in there right now?
Like you don't need to know like.
Is he typing
Can
in
you
there?
count?
Just end this shit. Just let that man do his thing.
I know. Like,
No, Mustafa's been frying him for
Yeah, I know.
10 minutes.
I'm gonna start counting threes as well.
But why do people believe like the death thing? Like, why is it so like
It's actually.
important?
Why would we do that? We already have a book.
If you look at all the
What did he
saints,
say?
That doesn't get anything wrong.
He happening that thing?
if you look at all the Satanists, all the Satanists believe that you require a sacrifice.
Are we out?
You know that?
What is that?
Huh? All the Satanists believe that God requires sacrifices and whatnot. So it's actually Satanists, yeah. So Christianity is more aligned with that because Christianity says that you require a blood sacrifice.
Anyway, wa akhiru da'wana alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. If you guys are serious, you should learn about your own religion properly, and it probably will convince you to leave it. But if you don't do that, then come and discuss genuinely, with an open mind, open heart, with proper sincerity, discuss your religion and see how long it's going to last. It's not going to last. It's not going to last. Allah did not have a son.
He said the gospel is the Bible. Mustafa said, yeah, with 50 additions.
Is Jesus the begotten son of God or just the son of God? Or is he begotten? Like, do I need that word, begotten?
You know what was taken out? Do you know the word? You know the word begotten was taken out? Like it was like so blasphemous that it had to be taken out, correct?
What did he say?
Brother, we know all about Christianity. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense to you. You can't make sense of it.
Bro, like that's
Everything you're saying is feelings.
I think Christianity is the easiest one to pull apart though.
Yeah.
Because if okay, just ask this man this question. If Christianity is the correct religion, then in the own Bible it says, okay, that only God and only the Father knows the final hour, and then they keep saying, "Oh, Jesus is God," but He literally doesn't know the hour. That question can never be answered.
Does God know everything? When they hate that
Yeah,
question.
that question has never been answered till this day. Like,
Here's one question. Does God know everything? Here's a second question. Does God have a God? Here's a third question.
does God have to kill Himself in order to forgive His
Does
people?
God submit His will? Does God submit His will to others? Here's another question. Is blood required
A little bit. They put us in tanks, showing us around and stuff like that.
No, my question
For-
is, can
for-
God do
for-
whatever He wants? Okay, if he
For
can't do whatever
forgiveness.
he wants, then why does somebody have to die in order for him to forgive people? Can he just do what if he pleases?
What's the one that got it wrong? He is Trinitarian. He's just saying he's not Trinitarian. What's the thinks he's not Trinitarian? He is. He said that.
No, he said he doesn't
His
worship
begotten
Jesus.
Son. He said his begotten son.
Yeah, but he doesn't.
He also just said that they're Jesus, the Father, and the Holy Spirit are one accord spiritually.
I
He's
don't know.
still
Honestly, trying to
Trinitarian. Whether he says he is or not, he just.
Tell him that the Trinity was brought up at the Nicene Creed and it didn't exist before
I
that.
am tired of that.
Good. That's what Islam says. So come to Islam. That's what we agree. Jesus is not the Father, nor is he God, nor is he divine, nor is he the Son of the Father.
What does this mean?
He is a slave to the Father. He worships the Father, submits to the Father, obeys the Father.
Shake, tell him to join the next episode of the show.
Tune in to the next episode of
tell
Dragon
him
Ball
Tell him
Z.
to pull up to the masjid. Tell him to pull up to the masjid, inshallah. We'll have a genuine conversation with the brother.
You don't know what kind of weird people are gonna come here.
No, I mean, it's.
All right, inshallah, we'll go ahead and end it there. But if you want to keep discussing and learning and coming to understand, we're gonna have this live again. We're gonna be talking about the same subject, and inshallah, we'll also discuss some of the issues that you are bringing up.
Oh, yo, tell him next time we can probably add him to the live, inshallah. We can express himself.
Yeah, we can do it like.
Mustafa was ready for it.
That's good.
Next live, brother.
That's good. So that's correct. That's correct. They are incorrect. They worship Jesus. They should not be worshiping Jesus. They should be worshiping the Father alone. This is what we believe as Muslims. This is what we want to see you again, because this is exactly what we believe as Muslims. The God, the one true God, the God of Abraham, the God of Moses, the God of Noah, the God of Jesus.
Has he read the Quran or is he just talking?
Yeah, is the one and only God, the one true God, deserves to be worshipped alone without any partners associated with him. Absolutely, this is the prime message of Islam. Most important thing in Islam. Most important thing in Islam. Do you agree with that sentiment?
No, he's gonna be like, we don't know how to love. I don't know that. I don't know.
But my question is, he said something earlier about blood. Like it has to be blood. That like.
That's one of the things they learn in the.
Like them,
You wouldn't know that, bro. You
I guess to them, like the sacrifice is like a form of love, right?
No, but the sacrifice is the most retarded thing to me because why can't Allah just choose to forgive?
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Like, why does he have to?
Well, no,